Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here, and today we're going to do a bake with me. My favorite and some family members' favorites is double crisp apple crisp. Again, this is a recipe I did find on Pinterest, and I will link the full recipe down below. I'm actually altering it down to like a 2-serving dessert for me to have by myself. So I will show you as I go, and I'll put the recipe on the screen, like the measurements and stuff for the 2-person serving, but again, the full recipe will be linked in the description box. But let's get started on making apple crisp, beginning with preheating the oven to 350. Then you want to grease your dish that you're going to use. I have a small white carafe that I use. It's big enough to hold 2 servings, so it's like perfect for me to use, but you want to grease it generously so it all comes out without sticking too much. Next, I start with the dry ingredients for the topping because I don't want to have to use spoons that are wet. So I begin with a 1/3 cup of oats. Again, the recipe that I'm putting on the screen and that I'm speaking about is actually going to be for the 2-serving, but the full recipe is down below. And then secondly, we're going to go ahead and do all-purpose flour. And these measurements are really weird because again, we cut it down, but it's 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of all-purpose flour. Next, we're going to do white sugar, and that again will be 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons. Lastly, we're going to do brown sugar, and this again will also be 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons. Next, we're going to do a 1/4 scant teaspoon of baking powder. Now, I had to Google this because I wasn't even sure what it was, but it's basically like kind of a half in a way of a 1/4 teaspoon. So you're going to do that of the baking powder, and then you're also going to do the same thing with baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon scant. So after you get all the dry ingredients in a bowl for the topping, I put that aside and I grab like a Ziploc bag. In this, you're going to put any of the dry ingredients that you need to go with the apples to coat it. And then for the apple coating, you're also going to use all-purpose flour again. This time it's just 1 teaspoon. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the white sugar and do 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon. need melted butter for the topping, so I went ahead and put 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of butter in the microwave to kind of melt down slowly. And then next you want to cut, peel, and dice up largely your apples. And I always try to do like 1 green apple and then 1 red apple, so 1 more sweet and 1 more tart, so it kind of intermingles. Once all your apples are cut up, you're going to throw them into the bag, the Ziploc bag with the sugar and the flour in it. And then you're going to add the 2 final ingredients. So that's going to be a generous 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. I do this after the apples are in the bag because if you put it in with the flour and the sugar, it's going to get clumpy. So I want the apple in there first so it kind of absorbs some of the liquid, and then your flour sugar mixture will kind of mingle with it better. Once that's all in the bag, you're going to go ahead and seal it, try to get most of the air out, and then you're going to shake it up until everything is coated real well and there's nothing stuck around in the bag at the bottom. Once you feel like it's really good and mixed, I set that aside, and then we're going to pull over our dry ingredients. I did stir them up a little bit before I added the melted butter to the topping, and then again stir it up again so it's all blended real well with the butter. Once you're all done with that, you're going to go ahead and put your apples in the bottom of the dish. And then from there, you're going to take your dry topping and basically put it on the top so it's well covered. And we place it in the oven and bake it for about 35 minutes until it's bubbling and hot and crispy. See how it's all nice and golden brown and kind of bubbling around? That is perfect. That was another bake with me. We made some double crisp apple crisp. I'm not gonna try it on camera because I know it's good. It's definitely one of my favorite fall recipes. If you do make it in the full recipe and you're serving it up, it is good with like some vanilla bean ice cream. But if you do make it, let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, I hope everybody has a blessed day.